Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Buttermink, and I have for you something that you might not have expected from this channel, but I am now in the IBL D-League. They had another coach drop because he got a promotion and he wouldn't be able to do Pokemon battles anymore. So they asked me, hey, you want to take over this team? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And so here I am. This is actually week 2 because I got asked while they were doing week 3 battles, but I managed to build a team quick enough that we did it Wednesday, actually. The Wednesday before this goes up, which is, I'm actually recording it on the day it goes up, believe it or not. I know, like, great planning on my part. But anyway, I got invited in, and I was like, sure, yeah, I'll join. And then I got asked to use, since it was so late into week 2, in fact, it was past week 2, I got asked to use the old team that I took over, the St. Louis Booloos, which have a sick logo, by the way, very nice. And I got asked to take over for that team, so I was like, yeah, I'll use that team week 2, and then week 3 and on, I'll get my own team. Probably later this week, or when I do it, I'll probably do a team builder before my week 3 battle, where I explain the team that I have, what I swapped around, what I traded for, etc. But for now, all you really need to know is the 6 that I'm bringing. And here we have Choice Scarf Cobalion, Sticky Web Rabambi, Aurora Veil Mew, a Zeraora with, I believe, Life Orb? I believe it's Life Orb Zeraora, or that might be my week 3 battle. It's not offensive, it's a physically offensive Zeraora. Oh no, it's Dragonium Z, that's right. Because I wanted to hit Garchomp without getting locked into Outrage, because he has a Ninetales there. We got a specially defensive Rotom Wash, and we've got a special Mega Charizard X, just because he had stuff like a Chestnut, he had a Miltank, and all those, he even had a Mega Blastoise, 2 of those you can see on the screen, and all that stuff runs physically defensive decently well against my team. As you'll see in the battle, that's what they end up being. So I figured, you know what, I'll exploit that and I'll run a special set. I've got Flame Charge, Roost, Dragon Pulse, and Fire Blast. So getting into the battle, he brings Miltank, he brings Zapdos, he brings Garchomp, Ditto, Alola Ninetales, and his Mega Blastoise. I'm thinking right here, okay, Scarf Cobalion's a good lead, because if he wants to lead Rocks, then it threatens out his Miltank, which is most likely his Rocker, giving his team composition. And I can get up my own Rocks, and then I can switch out based on what he does on the very next turn. If he leads Mega Blastoise, which is a weird lead considering Rotom Wash and Zeraora, although you'll see he has something for Rotom Wash specifically, I can, you know, I wouldn't see that as lead. Although the Ninetales could be a lead, but Cobalion outspeeds unless it's Scarf. So that wouldn't be too much of an issue. Ditto is never a lead. Zapdos would be an interesting lead. I'd be shocked if he led Zapdos, but he could have. And Garchomp, judging by this, it's probably his late game cleaner. So I figured Cobalion is a good overall lead, so I did end up leading with Cobalion, as you see as we get right into this battle against MidPokeMaster and his Kentucky Torracats. His link will be in the description if you want to check him out. So turn 1, obviously I'm going to lead Cobalion, and like I expected, he does end up going for his Rocks first, or more likely his Rocker, which is Miltank, which means this thing is more than likely forced out because it doesn't know that I'm Scarfed, it doesn't know my item yet, and it gives me basically just completely free Rocks. As he goes into Blastoise, Mega Blastoise, revealing this is probably physically defensive, and specifically meant to counter this, but Rotom Wash is basically a free switch in here. There's nothing really Mega Blastoise can threaten me with, so I go straight into that, and he's going to Mega Evolve, obviously. Mega Blastoise has one of the less interesting Mega designs, honestly. It's just more cannons, honestly, but it'll go for the Scald here, and it'll burn, but it will do nothing, because like I said, I'm specially defensive. I'm actually Papa Berry, so I'm not going to get Leftovers Recovery. Leftovers overall would have been better this game, but I thought Papa in the moment would have been good. as I get a Toxic off on this Mega Blastoise, which is awesome, because wearing this thing down is great for my team, as he goes for the Mirror Coat, meaning that now I know he has that, so I don't want to click Volt Switch this turn unless he goes for it, in case he goes for it again, and I lose something on the switch, so I'm just going to click Toxic again, and see what he does, and I end up catching the Emma Frost, the Alola Ninetales on the switch, and I Toxic that thing as well, which is awesome. That thing gets Toxic as it sets up this hail, and now, I don't want this thing going for Freeze Dry on me, because that would do quite a chunk, so I'm going to pull the switch into what I hope ends up working out in the Mew, after I take all this, we go through all this totally damage. There's a lot of stuff happening this turn. I'm going to I'm not going to Volt Switch out, I'm just going to Hard Switch into Mew, but from this damage that he does, it ends up revealing that he is indeed Specs. Now, I didn't know this because I was hanging out downstairs by my family when I played this game, so I wasn't calcing anything, but after the hail, I'm definitely in range of another Moonblast, so I think, alright, I'm going into Cobra, because he might set up his Veil this turn, and I can play around that, but no, he just goes for another Moonblast, because remember, I don't know his Specs, but after the game, he told me, yeah, he was Specs, and I ran some calcs, and he was definitely Specs. But here, Close Combat's basically free. He could go into Zapdos, which would be annoying, but I could have gone for Rock Slide too, and he doesn't want to take that. So he's just sacking off his Alola Ninetales at this point, which is awesome, because I don't have a switch into a Choice Specs Moonblast on this team. I technically still don't, but we'll get into that when we get into it. And he's going to go back into Mega Blastoise, and at this point, I don't see a use for Cobalion. It's pretty much done its work, so I'm just going to start hammering away at this Blastoise, getting off more damage. As you can see, I get a nice 30-35% off with that. As it goes for Rapid Spin, actually doesn't kill, even though I'm at -1. I know it's Rapid Spin and it's a special attacker, but like I wouldn't have been surprised if it did kill. But yeah, he gets more chip. And now here I go for Close Combat, actually expecting it to kill. But we're going to come short of that. I don't know if that was a low roll, if that was the max roll, what that was, but he's going to kill us with Dark Pulse, because, you know, we're -3 special defense, and if it didn't kill, I'd be super surprised. But we're going to go down, and and he's actually going to go down to no, he lives at 1 HP. So that gives me Mega Charizard X, and I can then Mega Evolve and click. I actually misplay this turn because I go for a Roost, as you'll see here. But what I should have done is just kill it with a, I didn't want to go for a Flame Charge, but just kill it with a move. But instead I let Mega Charizard X take a lot of unnecessary damage. As you see, that Scald does 75. And I'm not the bulkiest Mega Charizard X, but still, that's a lot of damage. But Mega Blastoise does go down to Toxic that turn, as he's going to go into his Ditto and scout my set and figure out that, okay, so this guy is a special Mega Charizard X. So here, I make the obvious switch, because he knows that I have a Flame Charge, and he doesn't want me to get that up, so he's probably going to try and kill Mega Charizard X here. So I can just go straight into a Bombi, and it bounces right off. I take nothing from it. And so this frees me up to go for Sticky Webs, basically, because he's forced to switch now, and I do, as the Zapdos switches in. Now, this thing was pretty scary, but my immediate response to it, since Rotom Wash was burned, was to go into Mew, which turns out to be the best play, because he's going to click Toxic, and then I'm going to synchronize that back to him, meaning that now the Zapdos is also on a timer. In fact, that's 3 of his moms now that have been Toxic. 2 of them are obviously dead, but I hate Zapdos, and getting it Toxic is really nice. Like, Zapdos has beaten me more times than I care to remember. So, getting it whittled down like this is nice. It's going to go for the Thunderbolt, obviously get some damage, as I live on 5, actually, and click Roost. Yeah, that did more than I expected it to, but I think it's because I built specifically physically defensive Mew that I took so much. He's also static, that's something worth noting. Just good that I bought special Zardex then. But I'm going to just, at this point, click U-turn, because I gain nothing from this interaction, and I can hopefully get Rotom closer to its Ayapapa. But he actually goes into Miltank as I U-turn, which actually I go into Zard X because I can get off some Dragon Pulses and scout out what the set looks like, how especially defensive it is, and what it wants to go for. Obviously, it's going to get the leftovers recovery because Miltank usually runs lefties, and I'm going to click Dragon Pulse here because it's probably thick fat, if I'm honest, and it's going to do some nice damage. It's going to do over half, actually. He goes for Earthquake, which takes about 60 points of health away from me. Yeah, it takes exactly 60. So I don't want to take another Earthquake, and he's not going to set up rocks with this thing in front of him dealing damage to him. So it's a free Rotom Wash switch. And I'm actually going to do that right here. Gonna do nothing to me as I get the Levitate off. And I'm going to click Toxic because I want this thing going down as well. I bought a lot of Toxic on this team. Well, actually I only had one Mon on it, but it Toxic a lot of his team. As I believe he sets up rocks this turn, which is annoying, but it is what it is. We can deal with rocks. I actually have Defog on this, but I actually decide here, I think I go for Volt Switch on this turn, but I decide here that I don't want to get rid of my own webs, even though I could set them up later. So I actually leave the rocks up, and that actually hurts me in the late game. Hurts me pretty badly, actually. As I go for Volt Switch, and I'm going to, I want to say it was Mew. Yeah, I go into So Handy, which is Mew, and he goes for Milk Drink, I believe. Yeah, he gets some health back. And then I think this upcoming turn, I'm going to click Roost, because I want my health back too, and he's on more of a timer than I am. And I think he doesn't want to leave Miltank in on this thing, so if I remember correctly, he then pulls a switch into Zapdos as I get the Roost off, and then we get stuck in that old situation again. Yep, he goes, I believe, right into Zapdos. Yep. Did he defog rock? Yeah, he defogged my rocks away. Oh no, he rapid spin them when they get Blastoise early on in the game. So it doesn't take that rocks damage, but I get the Roost off. Now he actually has the timer in his advantage, which is annoying. But he's going to start taking damage. Plus he has, you know, that leftovers recovery that I don't have. So I'm just going to take this Thunderbolt, then I'm going to U-turn out of here, even though Zapdos, Zeraora was a pretty good switch in here. But I'm just going to U-turn out because I can't be staticked, thank goodness, because he already poisoned himself. But now Zeraora is basically free as a switch-in, because with Webs up, Garchomp doesn't outspeed even if it is Scarfed. And he could go into Ditto, but switching Ditto in on an attack is a very risky venture, so I'm just going to click Plasma Fist because I want the Zapdos dead. And he goes for some kind of hidden power. I couldn't tell you what it is. It's not super effective. It's not resisted, so it's not steel, or it could be ice, but I don't think I have a quad weak mon to ice on this team. I don't really remember because I took over this squad, so it's possible. Another mon lives on 1 HP with Toxic, by the way. That's happened a couple times, but I'm just going to kill it with this next Plasma Fist, which is going to deal some nice damage. It takes down the Zappy Boy. And, yeah, I just don't know what it's with mons with living on 1 HP with Toxic this battle, but happened a lot. Now, obviously, he goes into Ditto, and my thought process here is Close Combat's his only move. He won't go for Outrage because Ribombee gets in for free. He won't go for Plasma Fist because Zeraora. So I go out into Mew, but unfortunately I live this actually quite well, even after rocks. I have 27 HP with Close Combat. This is, mind you, Max Attack Adamant. I live on 2, so it only did like 15 damage because of how much HP and defense I have. But I died of poison, so I drop right there, which is unfortunate. Now, this play I go into Rotom, because I'm going to try and Toxic this thing, but I didn't calc, because like I said, I was not calcing this match, and he takes me out with Close Combat, so that Rotom gets thrown away for no reason, which is great. Gotta love when you do that. But yeah, I drop easily. Rest in peace, Damp Memes. But now, he's definitely going to not take it +2 Moonblast. In fact, not a -2 Moonblast. Nothing on his team wants to take a Moonblast, so I'm just going to click that a good couple times. He goes into Miltank, and I reveal Moonblast, and it turns out to be a 2-hit KO. So that's that's awesome. I can take that out as I Moonblast. Obviously, it does like 70%, so it's definitely a 2-hit KO, especially with him not getting any leftovers recovery. So next turn, just click Moonblast, and Miltank goes down. So Ribombee showing why it is the Bay. I love Ribombee. In fact, actually, I won't say that, but Ribombee might be the mon I've drafted the most in any league. As he goes into Garchomp, and this turn, while it doesn't completely change the result of the game, is annoying, because I go for Moonblast here, and since it's at full HP, it does not kill. It was a 43.8% chance to kill from full, and I missed that roll, so he gets his Poison Jab off and kills Ribombee. Rest in peace. Now, my only mon left, obviously, is Zeraora, so I had to pull my switch. Oh no, I have Mega Charizard X, but since I left Rocks up earlier, it kind of just dies to them, so that's fun. So now, my only mon left is Zeraora, and I basically have no choice, but I'm just going to click Outrage here. Z Outrage actually would have been better, because I wouldn't have taken chip damage from Rough Skin, but I'm pretty sure that a Ditto's Close Combat or Outrage, whichever it went, would have killed from the range I was at anyway, since, yeah. So I lock myself into Outrage, and he goes into Ditto, and he's actually going to click Outrage himself, funnily enough, and that is going to end it in our first IBL D-League match, as we are going to get a 1-0 loss. But it was a very good match. Made a couple misplays that I think in hindsight I shouldn't have done. But like I said, I wasn't calcing this match, so for doing that, I think I played rather well. And as you see, we're going to lose 1-0. But it was, I'd say, a very well played match. I think I brought what I needed to do to win, and I think, I'm glad my sets, except Aurora Veil Mew, worked like they were supposed to. I was ashamed that I couldn't get that tech off because he was Specs. If he hadn't been Specs, if it had been any other set, I would have been able to, but, it is what it is. Veil wouldn't have helped much that match, since after the Ninetales Mew exchange, it was basically Cobalion versus Mega Blastoise for a few turns. That would have wasted my Veil, but, it is what it is. It's the game we play. I think it was a good game. Shoutouts to Mid for being so willing to battle on my crazy schedule, and I actually managed to do it right before work, actually, because I didn't have school, because last week was the deep freeze of the Midwest, so that was pretty insane. But yeah, we'll end up pulling the 1-0 loss out for week 2, which makes our team actually 0-1, -4, because the Booloos lost to OP Jellison and his Toronto Leaf Storms by a score of 0-3 in week 1. And actually, I was talking to OP Jellison, and I was like, the one time I'm in a league with you, I don't get to play you because they've already done their match week 1 against you. So that was pretty funny, but we'll see how this league goes. Probably next Sunday, I'll upload a team builder that goes over the changes I made to the original team and what it looks like now. And then I'll talk about the team that I brought next week. Since that battle actually happened Saturday night specifically, and that was a pretty good one too. So thank you all for watching my first foray into an upload required league. And I hope you all get some enjoyment out of it, and I hope you all look forward to seeing your Fort Wayne Gastrodons take on their next opponent. Thank you, you bright, lovely people, all for watching.